Welcome to Garthdee. It's a nice part of Aberdeen, just north of the River Dee, and only a couple miles from the centre of the town. Today you'll see houses, a school, some shops, parks, even a university. But do you know about our dark past? Keep watching and hear our tale. The first part of our story takes us all the way back to 1644, when fields and grazing land stretched from where our school is now, all the way down to the Bridge of Dee.
Many years ago, during the times of the great unrest in Scotland, an army came north to find more soldiers. That army found their way blocked by the brave people of Aberdeen, who wished to defend their city. A terrible and murderous battle followed, where much blood was spilled and many men died. But what happens to a battleground once the army has moved on? Some speak of terrible creatures, boggarts, boggles, and worse, redcaps and other wicked fairies who come to live in the places where blood has been spilled. Oh yes, for you are in Scotland, and our fairies are not all beautiful and kind. Most do exactly what they want, and as for the mischievous ones,
the wicked fairies came in their hundreds to live where the battle had been, the Battle of 2 Mile Cross. The good people of Aberdeen were not safe to cross the land where the soldiers once bravely fought, for when they did, they would hear the laughter of the creatures and then feel their little hands grabbing them down into the heather and the grass. Some say that many travellers went missing and never returned to their homes and their families.
One day a wise old woman came up with a plan. There are many butchers in the city. Let them take the blood of the animals and smear it on the fields. Then the fairies will be happy and will not bother us humans no more. So this is what they did. Every year they spread the waste from the butchers over the fields so that the wicked fairies were fed with blood and kept happy. It became a tradition, and a very important one too. It kept us safe from those horrible, terrible, blood-sucking creatures.
But times changed and people change. As the years passed, people forgot their old superstitions and ancient ways. Aberdeen grew, and after the war, Garthdee was built. The noise of the builders and the cars feared the creatures who hid beneath the ground in their underground tunnels and imp holes, and the people forgot all about them.
It was a normal day at the Kaimhill Primary School. A historian had visited and some of the older pupils were learning about Aberdeen in days gone by. They were surprised to learn about the battle that had taken place right on their doorstep, just up there. The teacher said, pointing up 2 miles across a street, where one of the school gates opened up onto the road. The class was excited. Their very own battle. The bell rang and they ran from the school for a break. Some sat down to eat their snacks. Others stood talking, but a small group from them grabbed some sticks from under the trees.
The Lord of Mentors cried when waving a stake at the army.
I'm Balfour of Burley,
and
said another, and
defiantly. There was
laughter,
and more
cries
were shouted as the two groups ran toward each other,
reliving
the bout for all to see. But as we all know, playing is one thing, and fighting about is
Another.
and flew to hide ducked down at the wall moment and off my nose. Sorry, cries a voice. I didn't see you there.
But it was too late. A single drop of blood dripped out of the child's nose and onto the ground. "Come on, we'll get you sorted," they said, and led the wounded soldier back off to the school. But in the moment that drop of blood hit the ground, it woke something up. Beneath the ground, the sleeping fairies opened their eyes and twitched their ears. Someone had fed them the blood of battle. That night, as Garthdee slept, the fairies woke each other. The tradition of feeding the ground with blood had been forgotten by the people long, long ago, but now the fairies were awake and eager for mischief. The next morning there was chaos everywhere. The people hid in their houses. A postman was chased down the street. "Postman, come back here or you will be the one to get posted." No one was safe, not even that Inchgarth. "Ah, get out of here. This is my community centre." They laughed and they cheered. The fairies were back and they were wicked. The children gathered in the playground. Curiously, the fairies were not interested in them. Perhaps they mistook them for one of their own. "What shall we do? We need to arm ourselves and protect everyone else. To B&Q!" Off they went and soon armed themselves with spades, shears, dustpan lids as shields, and they started making their way back to the school to decide what to do next. But when they were almost there, they heard somebody calling them. "Come here, children, come here." "Don't go," said one. "It's that strange old lady in the house with dirty windows. My mom said she's a witch." "Witches aren't real," said one. "I say we go and help her." They quietly crossed the road to the old lady's house. She lived alone, but for her black cat and everyone was scared of her because they hardly saw her come or go from her house, but she sometimes sees her watching through the gap of the curtains. She spoke. "Hey, you may call me a witch if you like, but I prefer to think that I'm a keeper of knowledge." The children were silent and listened to her, open-mouthed.
The witch told them all about what happened after the battle. She told them how the wicked fairies came to live at that place and how the people would spread the fields with blood to feed the fairies' hunger.
"But our people have long since forgotten our traditions, even though it is this tradition which may save us now."
"So what shall we do?" cried one girl. "Quick, to the supermarkets!" came the answer. They ran through the empty supermarket, collecting whatever they could that looked like blood. Bottle after bottle went into their trolley. Ketchup, tomato juice, and hot sauce. Lots of hot sauce.
They returned to the school and shouted as one, "Fairies, bogles, boggarts, and redcaps, come, here we have something to feed you." All over Garthdee, the wicked creatures stopped tickling the babies. They stopped chasing the dogs. They stopped tearing the curtains. They stopped bouncing on the beds and shrieking at the adults. Running quickly, they hurried to the school where our heroes, we emptying out bottle after bottle of ketchup, tomato juice, and hot sauce. Lots of hot sauce.
Thinking it was blood, the creatures cried with joy and started gobbling up. They were squeals of happiness and cries of blood. We love blood. But those squeals of happiness didn't stay for long. Ah, my mouth's on fire! Hot, hot, hot! Cried one, running in circles. Water! We need water! They cried and fled in their hundreds away from the school, away from the ancient battle sites, and down to the River Dee, where they splashed into the water and drank it up, gobble after gobble after gobble.
But the thing is, they were so eager to drink the water, but they didn't realize how fast the water was flowing. Soon they were being swiped away downstream, past Garthdee Park, down Torry, down out to sea. The pupils of Kaimhill have saved Garthdee and probably the city too. And as for the fairies, no one has heard of them since. And so that is the end of our tale. We hope you liked it, and remember, never trust a Scottish fairy.